Welcome back to the reading vlog. That's right, welcome back to the reading vlog. Welcome back to the reading vlog. And welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Let's go. Yes, hello and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honoured that you've once again chosen to join me today as we discuss my reading vlog, my reading week. That's right, I can't specify that enough. In my last vlog, it was a weekly vlog where I did a personal life update, I did a watching update, and a reading update, and wouldn't you know it, it did not leave anywhere near enough time for me to do a reading update. I felt very condensed. This is a reading vlog. All we're discussing is books today, and if you are new to the channel, hello and welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. If you are new to the channel, I am currently exclusively reading cozy mysteries, and I'm having an absolute blast. This is something that I decided to do around about a month ago now, and ever since I got on this mood reading train of exclusively reading cozies, as I said, I've just been really enjoying my time. Speaking of exclusively reading cozies, I've updated the bookshelves just a little bit to add more space to make it more cozy-fied as far as where the cozy mystery books are sitting versus where the others are. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you the updated shelves. So as you can see there, right up the top there, I have my Campers and Criminals. That was always there. Then over here I have some Amanda Flower, Josh Lanyon, and oh goodness me, I can't believe I've forgotten her name. It is Laura Bradford books. Here I have my Hayley Powell. Here I have my Coffee House. That was already done. What I've done now is I put my Inn at Holiday Bay up there. Behind that is my Millie cruise ship. Then here I have my Country Store books. This is my current TBR. This is next month's TBR. This is the Christmas Tree Farm Cozy Mystery Series. That is Amish Matchmaker. This is where we're putting Magic Cat Cozy Mystery Series. This is where we're putting the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery Series. This is where we're putting the Witching Flower. And give it time, and even these shelves are all going to be cozy-fied as well. Yeah, so just really trying to cozy-fy up the shelves and make as much room for as many cozies as I possibly can. I used to be very eclectic. I used to read every genre except for westerns, basically. I read everything else. I loved my horrors, I loved my contemporaries, my LGBTIQ+, my thrillers, my standard romance, you know, the list just went on and on. Standard mysteries, dystopian, sci-fis, blah blah blah. The list went on and on and on and on. But at the moment, it's just cozy mysteries, and as I say, I'm having an absolute blast with it. And if I can turn all of my bookshelves into cozy mystery books exclusively, I will be very happy. I think that cozy mystery books are doing a lot for me, and I just want to take a quick moment, because it is appropriate, it's a reading vlog, to update my thoughts and feelings on making this change and why it has been so successful for me, because there have been people in my life who have questioned whether it is, you know, viewers here at the channel. We have members over on the Discord server, even some family members have been saying, but you know, you love all different genres, why just cozies? And it's a really good question. So about 4 years ago, I read my very first ever cozy mystery, which that book number 1 is right down there. The Witching Flower. That was my very first cozy mystery that I ever read, and I absolutely loved that book. But what I realized the more I went on reading my cozies is just how much I loved them as a genre. Contrary-wise, anytime I would pick up a book that was from a different genre, whether I enjoyed that book or not, and you need to be mindful of that. It didn't impact whether I enjoyed other genres or not, but each time I picked up another type of genre, there would always be something, even in just the back of my mind, saying, I wish I was reading a cozy right now. And again, I could really be enjoying that fantasy or that sci-fi or that dystopian or that romance or horror or whatever it was. But there was something in the back of my mind saying, I just really wish I was reading a cozy right now instead of this book that I love in a different genre. So the more that continued to circulate in my mind, and at the same time, I never wanted to be a mood reader, but the more that circulated in my mind, the more I thought, well, what the heck is stopping me? Nothing is holding me to reading all different genres other than the fact that I wanted to continue to be well-read. And by that, I mean, having my reading be rather well-rounded with different genres and different age ranges. But, if I was only doing it for myself and I wanted to make the change, then what the heck was stopping me? So I decided to, jump all in and just start reading cozies. And as I say, I'm really, really enjoying it. Now, to the reason why cozy mysteries are, if you haven't heard of them before, then allow me to introduce them to you because they're an amazing genre. Clearly, for me, they're amazing. But they are best summed up in the two words of that genre, which is cozy and mystery. So mystery, very much self-explanatory, just like with a standard type of mystery, whether it's a mystery or a thriller or whatever it is, any type of, even mystery is a subgenre under, say, like a fantasy or a classic or a romance or... Okay, so I had to pause there because I was called away, but we will keep going. So yeah, I was talking about the mystery side, we know what that is. And so the cozy side of a cozy mystery is also exactly as it sounds. It is a mystery book that is written in an extremely cozy way. The whole purpose of a cozy mystery being called a cozy mystery is because it is meant to metaphorically feel like you are being wrapped up in a nice warm hug or having a nice blanket wrapped around you while you're sipping a nice cocoa by the fire. And it really is. And, if these kind of books are going to bring me nothing but joy, whether it just be the cozy side, both the cozy and the mystery, or even just the mystery side, and the fact that the mystery is a cozier type of mystery than a standard one, then why the heck not? It's just been an absolutely amazing ride. So yeah, really, really enjoying it. So what is the update? Let's finally get to it after all of that. My point, just very quickly, my point is I understand that some people may think, oh, Mr. Francy, you thought about this and overnight you just made this really big decision and whatever. No, this is something that wasn't decided overnight. This is something that's been a very, very, very long time coming. And, with, I kind of want to say reckless in quotation marks, reckless abandon. I'm trying to get rid of all the other genres and just fill my shelves with cozies because right now I'm a cozy person. Anyway, what have I been reading? Here you go. This is why you tuned in. We're up to the reading section. Okay, I have finished Mrs. Morris and the Ghost by Tracy Wilton. This is book number 1 in the Salem B&B Cozy Mystery series, and my goodness was this an absolute blast. I don't quite remember what I was saying in the original reading vlog. I think I was about a quarter of the way through, or maybe a little less when we last spoke, but yeah, from page 1 through to the final page, I had so much fun with this book. Now, if you are new, I'm not good with character names, so just let me remind myself her name, Charlene. We follow a woman by the name of Charlene who has purchased to simplify it, a mansion in Salem. She has gone through a really horrible backstory and wants a complete sea change. So she purchases this mansion in Salem, only seen online. She has seen pictures online and nothing else, and she purchases it, and then she arrives in Salem, walks inside, and says, oh, thank goodness, it looks like the pictures, which I think I was saying that last time too. I don't think I could ever do that, seriously. But, yeah, either way, I love my B&B style of cozies, and this one being called Salem B&B, and also the title Mrs. Morris and the ghost may indicate to you that, yes, it is a paranormal cozy. And the paranormal aspect is that very early on, I think within the first day or night of Charlene, who is Charlene Morris, Mrs. Morris, her husband passed away, hence the name Mrs. Morris. She sees a ghost, on that first night. And because it is a cozy mystery, as opposed to a standard mystery, or a thriller, or a horror, this ghost is not a horrible ghost. It is a friendly ghost, reminding me of Casper. It's not a child, but it's a very friendly type of ghost. And this ghost is, he, as with ghost Lore, lore, he is kind of confined, stuck to the house, and cannot leave. His spirit cannot move on until his murder has been solved. So he asks Charlene, aka Mrs. Morris, to help him to determine, how he died, why he died, and of course, most importantly, who killed him. It was an absolute blast. I love this book so much. I've already ordered book 2 and I will be reading it next month. And I have been buddy reading this with a couple of other people on, I would say more than a number of other people on my Discord server, which, by the way, the link to my Discord is in the first pinned comment down there. Absolutely free to join. We'd love to have your company. You don't just need to be reading cozies. You don't need to read cozies at all to join. We'd love to have you over there. I have been buddy reading this series, this first book, with a number of other people, and everyone seems to enjoy it as much as I am. We're all just loving this book, and it's just because it's really, really fun. It's really different setting in Salem, loving the whole ghost thing, the whole paranormal side, and this is my first Tracy Wilton book, and it got an overwhelming 5 stars from me. I can't wait to continue on with the series. I hope the rest of the series is just as fantastic as this book was, and if it is, I need more Tracy Wilton, because this was just right up my alley. 5 stars for this one. So the next book that I picked up was this book, Be Careful What You Wish For, by Linda Riley. This is a paperback as opposed to a mass market paperback. It is book number 4 in the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery series. The reason why I am pointing this out is because the first 3, which are right there, are all mass market paperbacks. But the reason for that is because the initial publisher of the first 3 books, I don't know if they just dropped the series or they wanted it done or whatever, but yeah, that is not the same publisher as this book, book 4, and the final book, at least so far, book 5, which I'll be reading next month. So the publisher for this one and book 4 is, oh gosh, they have a name that I keep forgetting what it is, so excuse me. It is Beyond the Page Books, and from what I've heard, Beyond the Page Books, their basic setup is that they, in my words, rescue cozy mystery series that, with other publishers, they've said, enough, done. Beyond the Page books publications say, well, no, we're more than happy to keep your series going, come to us. The one thing downside to this is because it is a different publisher, and because this publisher, Beyond the Page's books, have decided to release the physical books as paperbacks and not mass market paperbacks, it's not going to look cohesive and uniform in my bookshelf, because even the spine, this is a red spine, where the spine's over there, as you can see, right there, it's like white and then red and white and then blue, and then you got this thing that's gonna go next to it. It's like really, really different. Anyway, really hard to do going backwards. But anyway, the premise of this series as a whole is that we follow Carly Hale. Carly Hale runs a grilled cheese eatery. If you are Australian, think of cheese toasties. There is a difference in the method, in the way that a cheese toastie is made, but the result is pretty much the same. When you are heating in a toasting way or a grilling way, bread with something inside. And, most of the time it's cheese or something cheesy. So yeah, Carly Hale runs this grilled cheese eatery in Balsam Dell, and lots of different things go on. I love the first 3 books. In this particular one, I am trying to remember what happens. Wow, isn't that sad? I only finished this yesterday and there we go. Had to jog my memory for a moment. In this particular one, the delivery boy for Carly's Grilled Cheese Eatery has come in one day a little sad right at the beginning of the book, so it's not a spoiler. He's sad because an elderly woman that he has been delivering grilled cheeses to has made complaints about him. These complaints seem very unfounded and unwarranted, quite frankly. She's basically trying to say that he's spying on her and things like that. Just none of it makes sense. This is a really nice kid and she's a really old woman. None of it makes sense. But anyway, there is a whole lot more to the story than meets the eye, and there is a whole lot more to this elderly woman than meets the eye. And of course, the elderly woman ends up being the victim in this book, and so Carly Hale, knowing that her delivery boy is the number one suspect, sets about trying to solve the case and find out who the real murderer is, because she doesn't want it all pinned on her delivery boy, who she just knows is innocent. And, you know, sometimes in cozies, when our protagonist just knows that someone is innocent, I, still will sharply question if I agree, and I think that they are. But with this guy, I think his name is Ross. Yeah, Ross. Ross, the delivery boy, he does not seem like the type to kill anyone. And as I said, the claim was unfounded, or it seemed to be unfounded. I can tell you that the claim that she made was unfounded. So yeah, it didn't seem right at all. And so I definitely was with Carly on that, going, yeah, it definitely wasn't Ross. So we need to figure out who the heck it was. And yeah, it was great. I think Beyond the Pages books did an amazing job rescuing this series, because the way that the book ended, created a big arc for the series overall as a whole, and I'm really interested to see how things are going to proceed moving forward with book number 5. I don't know if book 5 is the be-all, end-all, or if it's just the most recent book that has come out. If you know, let me know in the comment section below, but I gave book 1 in this series 5 stars, book 2, 5 stars, book 3, 5 stars. Does it surprise you? Book 4 also got 1 star. No, I'm kidding. Also got an overwhelming 5 stars. So yeah, I absolutely love this series. And I keep saying this because it is so true. I just cannot fault this series. I can't. I put on my critical hat. I do. Every time I read the books in this series, and I just can't fault it. I love everything. I love the cozy side. I love the mystery side. I love our protagonist and how nice and kind and sweet she is. I love the grilled cheese eatery. I love hearing about all the different types of grilled cheese that they're making, and the different recipes that they come up with all the time is fantastic. The people who work at the eatery, I just can't fault this series. I'm trying, because I try to be really extremely critical of things that I love when it comes to books, especially because I've been doing this for years and years and years now. So I'm trying to, kind of hone the skill and think, okay, if I love something so much, let's try and be even more critical. But even trying to be even more critical, I can't. I just can't fault the series. I love everything about it. So I'm definitely looking forward to book number 5. You better watch out. And we'll get to that next month. Oh yes, and of course, big shout out to the new dog, who, because this is the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery series, in case you weren't aware, her, Carly Hale's dog's name is Havati, just like the cheese. I just love it so much. 5 stars. I highly recommend this series. If you like your culinary cozies, I think you will absolutely love it. If you love your culinary cozies, your really good mysteries, your nice, kind, sweet, main character protagonist, amateur sleuth, you will love this series. I just can't fault it. Absolutely fantastic. The next book that I picked up was this book, Murder with Lemon Tea Cakes by Karen Rose Smith. This is book number 1 in the A Daisy's Tea Garden Cozy Mystery series, and I have to give you a bit of backstory. So, I put this series onto my SAS list for my Cozy Mystery Exclusive 2025 SAS list, the updated one. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, and then, purchased this book and, was, looking ahead because, just so you know, Cozy Mystery physical books, which I always want the physical book. Yeah, people have questioned it with me going, oh, but Mr. Francy, if you listen to the audio book, why do you want the physical book? Just know that I do. I think we all just need to go on board and accept that. Either way, even if you just want to see it as Mr. Francy wants to collect the physical books, even if he listens to the audio books, I want the physical books. Knowing that, because it's just, we'll just put that in, done, I want the physicals, moving on. And also, it feels really weird because earlier on in the month, I was listening to an audio cozy book, and didn't have the physical book, and it's on display. It sits over there, just out of frame, in front of me. So I'm seeing the cover while I listen to the book, and I didn't have that with one of the books I read earlier this month, and it felt really weird to me. I didn't like it. So that's another reason. But anyway. All of that is to say, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I went ahead to look up book number 2 and put it into a shopping cart for me. I need to plan ahead when it comes to purchasing my Cozy Mystery physical books because the majority of them come from America and therefore they can take a bit to get to me. So it's not a situation for me where I can just say, oh, great, in 2 days' time, we're going into the next month and I want to read this book next. I'll just go down to the bookstore. I don't have that luxury. I'm not complaining. I would love to complain about it, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I have to adjust accordingly when it comes to what I'm ordering. So with this one, I looked up book number 2 to put it into the cart, just to have the shopping cart online, just to have it ready to go before I even picked up book number 1. Before I even put it into the cart, I realized right away that I believe the paperback edition of book number 2 in Australian currency is $95, and the mass market paperback for book number 2 is $500 and something. And my dear friend Pat was saying to me over on the Discord, I loved it so much. She's like, oh, okay, so clearly it's, it's all gold. It's a golden book. Clearly it's all gold, right? And I said to her, yeah, I should assume it's printed in gold leaf paper for $590. You gotta be kidding me. To me, and I'm not trying to be emotional here, I'm just saying it neutrally. Neutrally speaking, that's just extortion. It just is. $590 for a cozy mystery? You gotta be kidding me. So anyway, I went into this book trying not to think about that. And the way that I did was I said to myself, I'm not going to read the rest of Daisy's Tea Garden, but I will read book 1. I already have it. I might as well. And I'll view it as a standalone. Knowing that, I went into this book and I read the first 2.5, something like that, chapters, and it just didn't grab me. And I can't honestly sit here and say I wasn't affected by the fact that I knew I wasn't continuing on with the series, because it's possible that I was. I'm still trying to come to terms with what it was that I didn't like, but that could be one of the reasons. I think another reason was I wasn't gelling with Daisy as a protagonist at all. So long story short, from what I established in just 2.5 chapters, we have Daisy who runs a tea shop, she makes tea and little cakes and things like that. I mean, clearly it's on the cover. But we noticed this early on because I believe in chapter 1, a male character walks into the store and asks for an orange pico tea. And the only reason I know that is because one of Mama Francy's absolute favorite teas is orange pico. So I remember calling her saying, Mum, they mentioned orange pico. And they also have cakes and things there as well. And they were mentioning all the different types of ones. Where I left off, one of the ladies was asking for some lemon tea cakes to take home, and Daisy was planning on wrapping some from the back up for this person, and I assume it led to the death, but I don't know because I didn't make it that far. And and this is where I need, there is no reason for me to lie on my own channel, quite frankly. So here's the thing. I don't know what it was that led me to no longer like the story. I don't know if it was the fact that I know I'm not continuing on with book 2. I don't know if it was the fact that I just don't like the main character. I don't know if it was the fact that I don't think tea was spoken about enough. While Orange Pico was ordered, it wasn't necessarily, now let's talk for 5 pages about Orange Pico. It was just more, he ordered an Orange Pico, which is great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But I mean, you're talking to someone, you're talking to a man who has read a ton of the Coffee House Cozy Mystery series by Cleo Coyle, where she will literally start talking about all different things to do with coffee. If the theme, in one of those books, I think it's book 6 or something, French Pressed, talks about coffee pairings. So you know how you can pair wine with certain dishes? Apparently you can do the same with coffee. And there were pages and pages and pages of this wonderful information about different types of coffees and the different types of food you can pair them with. And that's what I want with my tea cozies as well. I want to see a lot of tea explanation and not just, hi, can I order an orange pico? Okay, thank you for your time, bye-bye. I want to get a, hi, can I order an orange pico? Well, yeah, orange pico was made back in this day, and what separates orange pico from another type of tea like peppermint is da-da-da-da. That's what I want. And I didn't get that in this book. So I'm going to say, because I still don't know what the reason is fully, that it's a combination of all of the things that I've mentioned that led me to say, I don't know what I'm doing with the book, but I know that right now I just can't read it. So I was talking with my dear friend Jessica, where I was doing a sprint with her earlier today over on the Discord. We do, for me, I host late night sprints, and then there are other people on the Discord server who will host earlier during the day. And I was doing a late night sprint with Jessica, and I was saying, I honestly don't know if this is a DNF or a shelf. I am still very confused in my thoughts and feelings about it. So I decided I'll go on the positive side and make it a shelf. I'll upgrade it. And I'm just putting this book at the back of my TBR for this month. So I'll get through everything else first, and then hopefully go in with a whole fresh mindset at the end of the month if I still have time. And if not, move it over to another month. That's fine too. But hopefully giving it time, I can go in with a fresh perspective and I might like it more. And if I feel that I want to really DNF it the second time around, then obviously I will. So, having DNF'd this, I think another one of the reasons why, not DNF, sorry, having shelved this, I think another one of the reasons why I shelved it was because I had the next book staring me in the face. To give you an idea, the current book that I'm listening to, the physical book faces out this way in front of me. And I'm pointing to literally where it is, even though I know you're seeing me on the camera. It is literally there. Then over there behind the camera is the rest of my TBR. And what I do is I have the book I'm currently reading faces out towards me on its own on this side. I have the rest of my TBR over there, and the front book, which is the next book I plan to read, and that one's cover faces me outwards. So I'm seeing the next book's cover, and I'm also seeing my current book cover, depending on if I go that way or that way. Okay, now that you understand what's going on behind the camera, and I don't mean behind the scenes, I mean literally behind the camera. To the side of the camera there, behind the camera there. I was looking at this as my current book, and I was looking at this as my next book, Gingerbread Danger by Amanda Flower, and I think part of it was, I just want to read Gingerbread Danger. I just really, really want to read this. This is, therefore, the next book that I did pick up. It is the next book, and I don't know what number, so let's look over there. My goodness, why is it so hard to point? There, and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is book number 9 in the Amish Candy Shop series by Amanda Flower. Arguably one of my all-time absolute fave series by a mile. I used to think what I love is Amanda Flower as an author. And don't get me wrong, I do love Amanda Flower as an author, but I've become more critical because I picked up, subsequent to this series, I picked up other series by Amanda Flower that I don't love or don't love as much as Amish Candy Shop. So what I'm viewing it as is, I love Amish Candy Shop. I just love this series. It is so much fun. Not everyone does. And I think that is amazing because as readers, we're not a monolith. And what makes that even more amazing with cozy mysteries is more and more different types of cozies are being released because different cozy mystery readers have different tastes. So yay, I'm glad that not everyone loves this series because it means we get different types of cozies. But I really, really, really love this. So, for those of you who don't know, it is called Amish Candy Shop Cozy Mystery Series because it is set in Amish country. However, we don't follow an Amish person. We follow someone who's currently living there, but they are not Amish, Bailey King. So, because Bailey King is not Amish, she's referred to as an Englisher, as the Amish people referred to anyone not Amish as an Englisher. She's an Englisher, and she, in book 1, Assaulted Caramel, which is the one that's facing outwards right there, holds a very special place in my heart. In that first book, she goes home to her grandparents' candy shop, Swissman Sweets, to help out her grandmother and her grandfather. Unfortunately, her grandfather doesn't really make it, I think, past book 1. Anyway, so she ends up staying. She planned to come down just to help, and then she ends up staying for the rest of the time in Amish country at Swissman Sweets, and it's an absolute blast. Now, there is a pig on the cover, and there is a pig on every single cover of this series. His name is Jethro, and I absolutely love him, and not everyone does. Well, actually, that's a lie. Everyone loves Jethro. Not everyone loves Jethro's owner, Juliet, but I do. So, I'm an oddball, but I like what I like. Okay, so, Jethro's owner, Juliet, she treats Jethro as though he is her son. She's very overly protective of Jethro. Jethro is going to be a star. She's determined that everyone's going to see Jethro the same way she does, and yada, 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 yada. Yeah, so anyway, not a lot has happened. I'm really not that far in. I think I'm up to chapter 3. Yes, so I'm 21 pages in. Forgive the other bookmarks. They're there for a reason, but the first one is where I'm up to. Up to chapter 3. And so far, I'm really, really enjoying it. This book, it's not a spoiler because it happens on page 1. It opens up with Jethro having gingerbread taffy on him. And our protagonist, Bailey King, who's clearly babysitting Jethro once again, is trying to clean it off him. And just the description of the taffy, the taffy itself, like the process of making the taffy, and, how, it needs to cool, but not too much. The smell of the taffy, therefore the smell of Jethro now because he smells like gingerbread, and that whole thing. It's just brought me right back to Amish Candy Shop, and I am so happy I am here. I do not at all regret the decision to shelve Murder with Lemon Tea Cakes, because this has been so much fun. I do understand I've only just started, but for having just started, it is so much fun. Absolutely loving being back in Amish country and at Swissman Sweets with my dear friend Bailey King and Juliet and Jethro and just everyone else. Oh my gosh. Yay. And we need more. Come on, Amanda. I hope that Amanda Flower is writing book number 10 right now. I don't know if she is, but I hope she is. Come on, Amanda. Let's write book number 10, because Miss Francy needs book number 10 when this one's done, okay? Okay. Alright, so what's the plan for the rest of the week? So, yeah, I plan on obviously getting through this one. Once this one is done, I am reading a book that finally arrived. It arrived during the week last week, and I cannot wait to get to it. The Big Chili by Julia Buckley. This is book number 1 in the Undercover Dish Cozy Mystery series, where we follow a protagonist who makes dishes for people anonymously who don't have the time to do so, and I'm just really, really, really intrigued by it. When I'm done with that one, I'm going to pick up another one that I'm really intrigued by that we're doing a buddy read of over on the Discord, which is this book, Resort to Murder by Annie McEwen. This is book number 1, the North Woods Cozy Mystery Series, and it is a resort cozy, and the cover is just so gorgeous. And after I finish that one, there should still be enough time to start my next one before my next vlog, and that is this book, 50% Off Murder, by Josie Bell. This is book number 1, the Goodbye Girls Cozy Mystery Series, and it seems like a thrift shop / discount ladies type of cozy mystery, so I'm very much looking forward to that as well. So I have been having an absolute blast with my reading, and I'm looking forward to what is coming up as well. I definitely made the right decision to start exclusively reading cozy mystery series. In the meantime, let's play our favorite game, Up. These are the books that I have read or are currently reading, and Up. These are the books that I'm going to get to at some point very soon. But what books have you been reading in this past week, and what is coming up for you as it's trying to fall on me? Let me know in the comment section below. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, especially when it comes to cuties, happy reading. Bye, everyone!